to November. What happened? It's come along and it's almost disappeared. So there you go. Crazy times. Anyway, very, very, very good morning to you. I hope you guys are well. And this is just to start the show. Here we go. So, how are you all out there? Lovely to see you. Cherry says, good morning. Good morning, Cherry. You look fabulous, Cherry. Yes, well, anybody else said to you today, don't listen to them. We're telling you, you look fabulous. And as you other guys do out there, it's going to be grand to see you. Anyway, so here we have the Spiritual Astrology Show. Oh, Debs Harris, you look just as good too. Yes. Look fabulous. In fact, you're looking great. You're looking great. Yes, because you are. Because you're in the Cafe Clairvoyance, because you could just relax. Enjoy the show. Enjoy all the banter that goes on and all the spiritual stuff. And telling you guys here the truth. What goes on out there, what goes out there in the universe, and so beyond. Par Via. Good morning. What a lovely name, Par Via, yes. And also live from Australia this morning. Good morning, Delia. Good morning, Delia. Lovely to see you too. And what else is going on? Who else is going here? We've got thank you. Jerry says thank you. We all need a boost. So a boostful good morning to you, and you just look great. You look great. During the show, guys, please share this. Even if it gets to the end of the show here, please share it on your pages there to other people. Attract other people to the page. It's free. It's free. So that means all we ask for you guys is to just be out there, enjoy it, and just let people know that we are live. Yesterday we had people who are watching the show from Puerto Rico. We had other people from all other sides of the world. This morning we got Australia because it's their evening time over there, so they can sit down and at the end of the day with their pipe and slippers, and yes, they could just relax. And also they're coming into their scorching hot summertime, and we're going into freezing winter. But there you go. Anyway, so loads of energies out there this morning. And Yanira, good morning to you. Good morning to you. And Debs Harris says hello to Debs, the producer. He's just so friendly, you guys, so friendly. So this is for you guys. Because you need that. This is you guys. Just to welcome you. I know you should be at work. I know that most of you here should be getting on with your jobs. You'll do the things you should be doing. But no, this is the hour you are allowed to just relax, sit down and do absolutely nothing apart watch this and be entertained about what's going on in astrology. In fact, that's what you tell your boss. Boss, I've got to find out what's going on in the astrology and the stars, things like that. Because then you could just, then the day's going to go great. How's that? Okay. Yes, I've just seen here. Thank you very much indeed. I just noticed that I'm just going to look. This is how amazing this is. Just watch this. Because we could do this. I'm just going to do this very quickly whilst we're actually watch this. Ping. That was Tuesday night show, and this is how amazing we can do this stuff so quickly. Get this in and look at that. Look at that. Are you impressed? Are you impressed so far, guys? Bet Guiomar's looking at the background going, oh my God. Oh my God. I'm not. in fact, I think I'm going to enjoy and get Guiomar onto, is this the one? Is this the one? Yay, look at that. Get that in there. So it's all nice and tidy before Guiomar comes in, and she won't know what's gone on. She'll just think, oh, how perfect. She's there in the background going, oh, for goodness sake. Anyway, that'll do. How's that? I'll just tighten it up as we go on. Anyway, so very, very good morning to you guys. Lovely to see you. And also, it was deliberate in a way. that we had Kelly Johnson's name there earlier on. Because did you see the show last night? And her art there, her mandalas. If you haven't seen the show, please go back and go and have a look and rewatch the show. Her mandalas are absolutely incredible there. And she's such a humble character, such a quiet soul, and yet her artistic qualities are just unbelievable. So I know a lot of you guys here have seen it already. Yes, the producer says, proof we are live. Proof, yes, we are. Anyway, I think it's about time to go and find out where the lovely Guiomar is. I'll just go see if she's at the front door, just to press the bell. Listen out there. Listen quietly. Ah, there she is. So, okay, as if by magic. The wonder of the stars, we can do this. Hey, see, amazing. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing, guys? Yes, good morning, Guiomar. How are you?
Good morning, Phil. Good morning, everybody. I'm doing very good, thank you.
Good. I just thought I'd better get your name up there quickly just before you came on, thinking, okay, so now your name's Kelly. That's nice. That's it. It's down now. Down. And yes, that'll do. There we go. We got it right now. Just told me to get it down a bit further. Down. Further down. How much further down can we go? Anyway, there we go. Right. Okay. We're all saying hello here. Susanna's saying hello, and so is Jay. And good morning to everybody else coming in. So these are currently, we're going through, how can I say, extraordinary times. Times. We are going through extraordinary times. And we just had a little chat here just before we came on live. And we just wanted to find out what was sort of going on with the energy. And I just very quickly looked at the astrology myself, and I know you've been there looking at it. And would we agree that there's an energy shift going on?
Yes, totally.
Yes.
It's personally, I'm navigating it with like a lot of joy, and for me, it's very good. But the energies that are out there, it's like so far we've been relating to each other from a fear-based perspective, which is what got us into roles. So patriarchy, which was the last 5,000 years, was all about creating an ego, because we need the ego structure to be able to sustain the incarnation of our soul and connect with our higher self. And because of that, this ego-based society, this patriarchal society, is fear-based. That's what creates the ego. It's the fear. It's the separation energy. Fear is basically a separation energy. So that's what's familiar to us. That's our comfort zone. And what that has created is a dynamic of relationship, which makes us bond with others through control dynamics.
And I love this. I so relate to this.
I need for you to behave this way or to represent this part of me, so I feel secure. And this goes all on at an unconscious level. We're not doing this on purpose. So, for example, parts of me which I reject because I feel like if I embody this side of me, I'm going to be left out in society. I'm going to be alone. I'm going to be rejected. I'm going to be a failure. So I don't own those aspects of me.
Okay.
And what we do is we project it onto other people. But normally what we do is, like, say, for example, this is very clear in children or spouses. It's like you go, oh, my adolescent boy he's absolutely useless. No, and there what you're doing is you're projecting a part of you that wants to relax more, that wants to enjoy life more. But you see it as a bad trait because you think if you embody that, you're not going to be a part of this society. So you project that aspect that you deny in yourself unconsciously onto your child, and you say, he's useless. And what you're doing with that is basically you're condemning him to only be that fragment of you when he's in front of you. So your adolescent boy will only show his uselessness when he's in front of you, because that's what makes you feel secure, because you got somebody that's owning that quality, that aspect of you that you don't want to own, because you don't want to feel it, because you think that'll, I will be rejected, I will be on my own. And we've been doing this for the last 5,000 years. And that is very restricting, and that is very castrating, because basically we're not allowing each other to express all the myriad of aspects that we have, each and every one of us. So
Yeah.
we're basically condemned to be in only one tiny little role in front of each single person. Does this make sense?
Yes, it does. Totally, totally, totally. And it's interesting when you say that my child is useless. And that child then is interesting, isn't it? How you become to feel safe in a negative environment. So, for
Totally.
instance, a child feels safe when their mother's calling them useless.
Yes.
But then the child grows up thinking useless is normal and then has hang ups later on in life by believing that they're useless.
Yes.
It's
But
like
not only the
useless is
child
normal.
feels safe because the mom is projecting that onto him, but also the mother feels safe because she's putting that quality away from her and
Yes.
is able to deal and control it by controlling him.
That's an interesting thing about control. And I really want to bring this in this morning because it was so interesting. Chatting with Deborah, the producer, earlier on, just reading through the media, what the media was saying about rules and things that were coming in or proposedly coming in or however it's going to be over the next few years. But it's interesting you talk about control is like that person, it doesn't have to be a parent, it could be someone else talking about someone else, but they have that control over them because they don't want that particular person to go stronger than them.
You can say it from that perspective,
Yeah.
but basically it's a projection of their own personal power, which they don't own.
Ah, yes, I agree with
So
that too.
if I enter in control dynamics, it's because I don't believe my own personal power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this also applies to governments. If governments are entertaining themselves in control dynamics, it's because they don't believe they have power.
Yes. Ah, now that's an interesting thing. Yes, that's a very interesting thing, and to put it like that, because they've got to do it like that to gain back not even popularity. It's not even popularity, is it? It's almost like a type of, as you say, control. Because they're saying here about okay, it could be that electric cars are going to be the thing of the future, which they probably will be. But the way the media puts this across is electric cars are only going to be for the elite because no one else is going to be able to afford them. Well, we've already got electric cars now.
Yeah, that
But
happened with mobile phones.
sorry, it happened with what? Sorry.
Happened with mobile phones.
Mobile phones, yes, is always going to be the elite. Yes, so that's
Mobile
the
phones is
control
the thing,
element.
like only rich people with sports car could have mobile phones.
Yes,
And they were like these boxes that they would put in the car.
I remember those things. I remember
Yeah.
those things. I remember to be fashionable. I went around with a brick just to look, talking into a brick, just to look like, hey, this is a mobile phone. Painted it. Ah, da, da, da. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, Debs Harris says, totally understand that that useless was told it by a mother all my life. I know I'm an okay. Debs, of course you are an okay person. Of course you are.
Of course, but it's not about being an okay person. It's about your mother not owning her right to enjoy life and relax.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So yeah, so if like there's a part of you that still is engaged with that image that your mother projected onto you, then you would not allow yourself to relax and enjoy. So about you, that's being okay for you would be to have fun, to enjoy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. And it's great when you have, and Debs, I'll imagine now that you're probably quite attracted to the opposite. You want to engage more with like fun people, engage with people who really enjoy themselves. And I think that's an amazing thing. So I think this is a time, I really think it's a time now to recognize here. It's interesting what's going to come in next year, because although there's these fear control things that we are being told of what's going to happen, we don't have to sit in fear.
No,
Not at
because
all.
the thing is, if relating to fear, it's part of the immature ego's issues. So the immature ego is based on fear, as I was saying before. It's based
Yes.
on fear of separation. But I'd like to say in Spanish, it's cero pertenecer, Sounds very good. In English, it would be to be or to belong. Not bad.
Yes.
To be or to
Yes.
belong. Do you want to be or do you want to belong?
Yes. Do you want to be
So
or do you want to belong? That's interesting, isn't it? That's a
exactly.
great
So
way.
when we're immature, we want to belong because we're fearful.
Yeah.
But when we can hold ourselves and we make ourselves responsible of ourselves, then it's best not to belong and to be, because when you are, you can actually choose who you relate to, in which way to do what.
Yeah.
Whereas when you belong, you don't choose who you engage with. You don't choose who you associate with. You associate and you connect and you bond with those who are familiar and those who will allow you to repeat the past and not make a future. So when you are, you relate to people who you can create a future with, a new future, a different world. And that's what's going on right now. Those are the energies that are going on right now.
They are, and it's about, and I think when you hear those controlling vibes, how those controlling vibes are very past related, then how this is going to change. This is going to change completely. That or this way of controlling people is going to change.
Exactly. So the control that governments have over us is not real. It's not real. If you don't believe it, it's not going to go anywhere. And the reality that you're going to create around you is going to be totally different. So we're getting to this point, especially 2021 is a year for maturity. So how do you create mature connections and relationships with others at every single level is, I think it's what's coming up in 2021.
Yes, yes, I think
And
so too. Yes,
and that depends on your perception, depends on how much you're connected with yourself and how much you've done your work of inner growth, of sustaining yourself and your emotions, and
uh-huh.
depending on you create your reality. If you don't, if you still believe everything is external and you're blaming outside, then you're going to suffer control dynamics. But if not, you're going to create your reality.
I think I totally agree, and it's interesting to hear how we can do this and how people can turn their lives around and get into this energy of being very different, being different, connecting within themselves, and you don't be part of it. And it is so interesting, isn't it? Because I think here that the confusion that and the writings here about coming up to Christmas, about what you are allowed and what you are not allowed to do.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying here that you can now socialize in bubbles. Bubbles. What you've got washing up liquid with bubbles everywhere. We all got to step inside one. What's going on here? What's going on? It's all mad.
Yeah, but bubbles are nice because when you wash with soap, what happens is that you create this layer, and the whatever outer reality which doesn't resonate with you just falls off and slips away. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm all for bubbles.
Yes, up for bubbles. It's the bubbles are like this socialized thing, and everybody is totally confused. Totally confused. It's yes, it's interesting. So I don't know. Whatever bubble I'm in, if I won't look at it as a bubble, but there's a bubble obviously around me somewhere. Maybe not. Anyway, there you go. Everybody say good morning to, very good morning to Eleni, very good morning to Susanna, and also Deb says, yes, I cut loose and forgiven her. This is the chat we had earlier about Deb's and mother telling her that she was useless. If I see her, I'm nice, but until she learns not to put me or my family down, we won't have a relationship. Yeah, I can understand it. And sometimes you do step away from that. And when you do that, Debs, you step into your own power.
Yes, and I suggest one step further would be, Debs, you
One
don't have to
step beyond.
Yes. You don't have to do it in front of her. This doesn't mean that you have to talk to her and say this to her, but do it inside your mind as if you were talking to her. Okay,
Yes.
because this will free the energy inside your mind that is trapped and still validating in some strange way what she did or how she behaved with you. So what you can do is just in your mind, just say, Mom, I understand that you wanted to play, that you wanted to have fun, but that you couldn't. And because of that, you were so scared of seeing anything which seemed or resonated with having fun, with relaxing, that you felt the need to put me down in everything. I didn't like that. I didn't want that, but I understand that you wanted to play. So guess what, Mom? From now on, I'm going to play all you couldn't have played in your life, and I'm going to do that for you and for me, of course. but I'm going to also honor you by doing it differently and allowing myself to have fun, to play, and to do what I want.
And your mother there's got a choice.
Yes.
It accepts it or doesn't.
Wow, that released energy.
Yes, that did, didn't it? I'll tell you what, it's nice to hear that. Actually, it's nice to hear we can talk like that, because you're not being offensive. You're being assertive, and you're taking in your own power. Take it back yourself. Yes, absolutely. Wow, what a morning! What a morning! What a morning! Here we are, 11:20 over here in Spain. It's 10:20 the UK, and I do not know what time out there is in Australia. I think you must be about 7, 8 o'clock in the evening. But yes, thanks for joining us. This is Spiritual Astrology Show. This is all about spirituality, astrology, combining the two, and where we're going. Now, November, as we work a little bit more into November, are we going through, do you think the energy is going to start lifting, or do you think we have to wait till December for that?
What do you mean by lifting?
Lifting, changing, because I think I looked at the astrology charts, and I think just going up towards Christmas, the energy starts to change even more positive. More positive, I call it like that. Well, I'd say we're all in positive times now if we wish to embalm that.
Exactly, embalm.
Yeah, I like that, and take in. Take in. Yeah, that's an Egyptian word. It must be our Egyptian spirit guy talk away saying, he's not going to embalm me, I hope. I'm just looking.
But you embalm mummies. You embalm dead things.
Oh yeah. Well, I talk to the dead. Well, people think they're dead. They're not dead.
I talk to people. No, I don't talk to people who think they're dead but are not dead in this life. Anyway, so
funny. Too funny. Look, I got a new sound effect now. It's my audience laughing with you.
It sounds like a dead audience.
They are, but we work with those.
Anyway, so we're always lifting our energies. Always, new energies are always coming in.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about, it seems like the energies are uplifting. That's really cool, But are you able to take it?
Yeah.
This is the issue. So
yes.
When the light comes in, the shit comes out. So when new energies, light energies are coming in, be prepared because shit's going to come out. Yeah. Which means you're going to start to feel things and you have to emote them.
Emote them. I love this word. We're going to have a big discussion about that in 2021. And we're going to be doing emoting. But you're all going there thinking, I want emoting for a Christmas present.
Hey, I just think, just so you know, it's good for this day. I just did this like flash therapy this morning because, people who've also already done some processes with me, I do flash therapies. So it's like 20, 30, 40 minutes of very like on the spot therapy for something that's going on with you right now. It was very interesting because basically what happened is this woman had lost her dog and she was, fearful because, the dog, something might happen to him. So I always use these situations because the dog is doing a service for you. The dog is allowing you to feel feelings that you would normally not allow yourself to feel. So what we have to do is to actually indulge in those feelings. Doesn't mean that like really just move in them and be victim of that, but actually feel those feelings. So I asked her, what are you feeling? And she goes, well, I feel like poor little thing. He's out there on his own, and like all the big bad things in the world are going to, fall on him. Where is he going to sleep? Where is he going to be? Okay. Those feelings are feelings that come from you, that stem from you, that belong to you, that belong to when you were a little child, and that of course belong to your ancestors as cellular memories. So I said, when did you live this as a child? And what came up was that when she was a child, her father was very, 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 very strict. And back then in Spain, like one of the typical things to do, I think in England, it was like the belt and the stick. Well, here was kneel down and hold heavy books like this with your arms spread out until your arms would fall. Yes. So this woman, there were 6 siblings, and the father would put the siblings all in a row with the encyclopedia on each hand until they just crumbled into pieces.
Dear, oh dear.
So, exactly. So this is what came up, and this is a traumatic memory. So children are very easily traumatized, and you can imagine how easy it is for a child to be traumatized by this. She said that she would laugh when that would happen. And basically what happened was that she was already dissociated from her body and from her feelings, so she couldn't feel anything. So the dog getting lost was the gateway for her to feel these feelings that were inside her. So I got her into her body by asking her what she was feeling, and she couldn't get from below the neck, and it was all in the head. So I asked her to move, to shake, to vibrate, to make sounds from the stomach, like like that, until the energy finally went down. And then she started feeling the tingling and the heat waves coming up all over her, and she started to feel two contradicting emotions at the same time. And this is the key for letting go the trauma registered in your body. Not only the tingling sensation and the waves and the heat and the cold, but also feeling the fear on one side, and on the other side, the a feeling of hope at the same time. So she was feeling these two things at the same time, and her mind was struggling with that, and was going, oh, I want to feel this, I want to feel that. No, no, no. I go, both at the same time, because this is what's going to allow the energy flow through you to accept. Tell your mind you can feel two different things at the same time, and not only is it not wrong, it's actually very, very healthy. That's what gets you
extremely
out of the trauma.
Extremely, I think so too. This is a little bit in hypnotherapy. We call this kinetic shift, and also it's also parts therapy, moving us around. But one of the biggest things is, as soon as you can move energy inside the body, different place, that's already weakening the negative link to it, because it's not stuck.
Exactly. So Eleni is saying, for example, that she's feeling shit. So the shit lift.
So will the shit lift?
Exactly.
Hooray, come out, shit. This is hilarious.
Yeah, so exactly. So you can feel the shit and at the same time be happy and be laughing about the fact that you're feeling shit. So there you're holding two contradictory emotions at the same time. And that's shifting the energy inside your body and freeing you.
I think so too. That's hilarious. Thank you, Eleni, for that. That did tickle us here at the Cafe Clairvoyance. Thank you very much. Okay, right. Yes. So it's interesting that you can move energy around, and although we although we always look towards astrology for answers to things, we also need to look at the reflection within ourselves of what's going on there to what's going on in ourselves, and to connect both the mind and the body together to move energy around. And I think that's a big thing.
Exactly. Yes. Well, it's the mind at the service of the body and the heart, and not the other way around.
Yes. Yes.
We've been told
I love that. Yes.
We've been told it's the mind that rules. The mind, you can choose. You should, differently. You have to be happy because everything is good for you. Sorry, the mind does not rule. The mind goes behind. Mm-hmm. So it's the heart, the body, the emotions that rule, and the mind that can follow and shift things, but always to the service of the heart and to your higher self, of course, because the higher self connects through the heart, not through the mind.
One of the things I think that's interesting is that if we work at it that way, then we don't get so stuck up in here, because sometimes you can have a problem or a situation that's going on around you, which say is the size of a pen. And but often when it sticks up there, we then get all sorts of issues attaching to it, and that then becomes massive.
Exactly. I mean, just think about this. The mind is made for doubting.
Yes.
For contemplating possibilities, for this, and that. The mind is not made for being sure about anything. It's the heart that knows how to be sure. So why do you make your mind choose things when your mind is not made for choosing? Your heart's made for choosing. Your heart chooses very clearly. It says, this, I know. But your mind is like, well, maybe yes, maybe no. What if I choose this and I'm not going to have that? And you're going to doubt all the time. So when you're in doubt, drop your mind. Go into your body. It says, what does my body want? What does my heart tell me that I need?
Yeah, I agree. What does my heart tell me? That's interesting, because we think we got, here is what I call this. I tend to look at this is like the feeling of being in duty. In duty, we have to do this because we're told to. We have to do this because that's what I'm used to. We have to do this because I'm going logical, left, right, almost like being in the military. Nothing wrong in the military, but just saying how we respond to this. But then at heart is how we really feel. And if we acknowledge that emotion, that feeling within ourselves, and say it, even if it's saying out loud somewhere, whether it's to a person, to a tree, to whatever, it's saying it to acknowledge it, that it's real. And as soon as you start saying it, it becomes real, doesn't it?
Yes, because so I'm gonna here. Eleni says that. Can I have? Sorry, I'm definitely stuck. So I'm gonna play with this. Okay. Eleni, so you have a feeling. You're stuck with this feeling. Phil's saying about expressing it. So expressing is a part of it because feelings and emotions are stuck in our subconscious, and our subconscious is registered in our body.
Yes.
So the way the subconscious works is that it's separated from the conscious mind. You know, you have the right brain, subconscious, the left brain, the conscious mind. So the way to bridge it is by using words to define a portion of the subconscious. Yep. So the way this plays out in you is using words to define what you're feeling and allocating that feeling in your body between your throat and your first chakra. So if you allocate a feeling, say you, for example, I feel stuck. So where do you feel stuck? I feel stuck, for example, here in the pit of my stomach. Okay, so I feel this stuckness here. So now what I'm doing by putting words to what I'm feeling, I'm actually starting to define, to limit a portion of the subconscious that has gotten stuck. So I'm saying, okay, I feel this stuck energy here. And what is this stuck energy feeling? What emotion does this stuck energy feeling make me feel? And you don't have to get it right. You just have to connect with an emotion and put a name. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you name it blue. It really doesn't matter. So I have a stuck feeling, and an emotion could be something like anguish. What kind of anguish? Well, I don't know what's going to happen. The future is insecure. I feel anguish because of this. Okay, so you have the stuck feeling. You have the anguish. It makes you feel a bit nauseous. Okay, fine. Then you're going to imagine an object. It can be anything. You know, imagine I don't know, I have a little turtle salt shaker.
How nice. A little tortoise.
Yes. So colorful. I imagine this salt shaker in here, and I bring it out. I put that salt shaker in together with the sensation and with the emotion, and I bring it all out in front of me. And then once I imagine it, envision it in front of me, I just imagine how it dissolves, it disappears, it turns into nothing. It just spreads, it turns into light, it falls into pieces. And once that's gone, once the image has dissolved, always with breath, breathing through this exercise and just dissolving it, then you just connect with gratitude and you give thanks for being able to release that memory. And finally, you envision a sun, a loving sun, an energy of love that you just introduce into your body and expand through your body. So I hope you've done this with me, Eleni. And if not, you can always check back and do it yourself here. And let me know if you've done it, or if any of you have done it right now. How do you feel after doing it? How do you feel now?
It's lovely. It's beautiful. I do a similar thing with this, with timeline therapy. Working with timelines of being in one physical place to another, and how going to another physical place, how you envisage feeling that much better, how you're going to take this particular emotion out of you, where you're going to put it, and when you go and walk to a different place in your house, in the countryside, wherever it is, that when you project yourself to get to that place, how that's going to feel, how that's going to be expressed. So you move that out of you. I love what you're doing there. I love you to bring out physically. I can see that working as being from a physical place, but then actually moving to another physical place, saying that's where I'm going to experience this sunshine, this empowerment. And then you can take it on further. Okay, let's go and find a point 3 or point C. Yes, to take it on even higher.
Yeah. And what I'm going to do, I have this. This is a cellular memory exercise, and I have this in my site in English too. Get the link for the bit of my site that is in English and share it here in the chat box. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Emily says, thank you, Guiomar. And she says that she's feeling better. That's absolutely fabulous. Whilst you're doing that, I'm going to go and do this. welcome back. And we're doing this. If you've never been on the show before, this is Cafe Clairvoyance. This is a spiritual astrology show on Wednesday mornings out here in the UK and Spain, 11 a.m. in EU. Or Spain, and 10 a.m. in the UK, or else you are there. Okay, right, there you go. Check out Cellular Memories Exercise. Just put that up there to say thank you very much. I think Emily's feeling a lot better already. And it's lovely talking about this stuff. Although we're talking about astrology and spirituality, it's how we can also use psychotherapy or psychotherapeutic techniques.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yes, this has got a part of NLP base to this. NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, how you're physically changing things in the body. Fantastic exercises. Yes. We've got a squeak there. We've got a squeak. Just turning down. Yes, I don't know where that's coming from. Anyway, right. It'll go in a minute. I think it's going. Yeah. Yes, I don't know where that was. Anyway, right. Susanna says, thank you so much. And Guiomar says, that's lovely. I'll just keep that up there for a minute. There we go. Good. Okay, so now let's go and have a look at a couple of people who have written in. They wanted to come and say hello. And let's see what's happening there. We've got a funny noise there going on somewhere. I've lost sound with you. Lost your sound. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Your microphone's gone funny. Yes. So, oh dear, sorry about that. But anyway, right, okay. So, yes, you may have to, hang on. No, it's that one. Unfortunately, it's your end. Your end, I'm afraid. It's something about your microphone there. Yes, you may need to disconnect it and reconnect it. Oh, yeah, it's gone now. Oops, no, lost you altogether. Right, okay. Anyway, okay, so we're going to start off with Jay. Very good morning to you, Jay, and hope you're well. I'm going to start off here. Let's do your reading. You sent us in some details there. Which is lovely. And in fact, here comes Guiomar again. And there you go. Are we better now?
Can you hear me?
Oh, certainly can. That's lovely. Yes, that's a lot better. Okay, yes. So Jay, she wrote in and she would like a reader this morning. She said, general reading, focusing on moving here. And you sent us in your date of birth. Thank you very much. We're going to do your solar chart reading and also a general reading and as I say, focus on moving. So let's get glasses off and let's get to business here. Right. Okay. First of all, if I feel about yourself, how you're going to be going on in front of you over the next sort of few months or so about moving, it's interesting here because it's interesting. This is almost like, this is how I see this. I'm being given this symbology from the spirit world, and I'm feeling here. I'm looking at a pizza. And a pizza is about you moving. I'm getting hungry already just talking about this. And first of all, there is the base which goes on the tomato sauce. Then when I'm picking up here, the other ingredients which are going to start to go on this. Now you're going to look at this and think here, yes, this is the moving, but what's come up in front of you is things are going to look better because more ingredients are going to go on into this pizza. And as the pizza then starts to get cooked, then projects are going to start coming together. It's as though you're going to find things looking a little bit more exciting as you go through December. I sense, but also when I pick up here, as you come into January and onwards, what are you going to do then? Because this pizza is going to be cooked, it's going to be ready, and you could move if you wanted to go and do this. And I also pick up here too, just looking at this here, it's focusing on what you really believe in. Now, we were talking earlier on about head stuff and heart stuff. Head, duty, feeling you've got responsibilities, ties to other people. Heart, listening, feeling what you really want. What is it you really want? We're talking about moving. We're talking about this. Is this what you really want? Or are you stuck in duty mode with everybody else? What's important to you? Because if you were to free yourself to go move, you would live through your deart. However, you've also got to deal with this part here, which is feeling this responsibility. And look at Guiomar, she's nodding her head. We're on the same wavelength here. Anyway, so go on.
It's very synchronistic to the energies of today. So I'm going to do this general. This is for everybody. This is not only for Jay. Okay. So this is so much about I have this really beautiful tarot deck called the Spacious Tarot. No. So it's so much about, it says, I got the Wheel of Fortune, which is saying things are going to change. They're going to be very different to what we expected. There's the Death card. that says, there's transformation in the way, everything's changing, and the Fool, new beginnings, right?
Oh,
And
yes. Yeah.
leap of faith,
Yes, they're
leap of
interesting,
faith.
those cards. They're very the energy of those is very symbolic,
Yeah,
or opens your third eye to using that intuition. Yes.
exactly. So then there's this one, and this is how we've been creating reality. This is like a little mouse being
Oh.
sieged by nine swords. It's the Nine of Swords. So are you afraid? Have you been creating reality from fear? And then somebody was saying before, it's like fear of what society, like what you're supposed to do. If you do
Mm-hmm.
what you're supposed to do, you're creating your reality from fear. So you're feeding the collective patriarchal reality. That's on one hand. And then you're not allowing yourself to relate in the magical way that is now open and available to us. But to be able to relate to that way, we have to do this leap of faith. And this leap of faith is like exactly what Phil was saying before. It's all about stop thinking, because the mind is going to make you be afraid, and stop and start just going into your heart. That's the transformation. So what appears to be death, the hands here, is actually the possibility of a new thing flourishing. And if we allow it, the path, even though it seems dark, here's the Eight of Cups, even though it seems dark, it takes us to a new future. And the moon is there saying it's an imaginary future. It's something that we can create with our minds. So the way this is going to look, I'm gonna express it because it's my reality. I have so I have this center, and I'm leaving the center because I'm focusing more on everything that's online. That's my future. And I know that since March. So I told my mom, and I says, I'm going to leave this. I'm going to rent it out. And I haven't done anything to rent it out because I've just been like more and more sure in myself of what I want. And when that is really consolidated in me, then my energy will let go and things will just happen as they have to. And I told my mom like a couple months ago, look, Mom, I'm not worried. By the beginning of next year, something will come up, right? So what happens is that there's this person that I knew that exists, that I was being recommended by many people, and that I want to go visit, never did, finally did. And like 2 days after seeing that person, like we really clicked. And then 2 days afterwards, there's this rep of this product, of this water product, wants to pay me a visit. I would normally say no, but I say yes, come along now. He comes along, and I tell him that it's very nice, but I'm not interested because I'm leaving the center. And then that person tells his boss, who sees this other guy that afternoon, and also that boss tells his wife, who just happens. So this other guy says, but I'm leaving, I'm searching for something to rent. And then the wife says, oh, but she's renting out. So it's like so synchronistic. Like this is how reality is going to play out from now on, if we let it,
Yeah.
if we don't let our mind get in the way.
Yeah.
If your mind gets in the way, it's not going to happen. If you let it
Yes.
happen, it's pure magic. It's synchronistic. It's like everything just ties in beautifully together.
Yes. Do you know what I think about this? I look at this energy here, and I'm feeling this. This is Jay. I love what you say there. I think Jay. I think what you're going to look at here, you're going to look at money. You're going to look at duties, responsibilities, and you're going to look at everything why you shouldn't go. That's one of the things I'm seeing here. Why you shouldn't go, but why should you go? If you go,
It's
you'll be following.
it's about being really sure inside yourself of what it is that you want to feel, what it is that you want to live, what it is that you want to experience. You have to be
Absolutely.
100% sure of that. So
Yes.
it's all about creating the space in your body, of letting your body inform you of what you really want, and then just cultivating that feeling in your body and creating that space and creating that reality from the inside.
Beautiful, beautiful. I think that's a big thing. I think it's a huge thing here, and I think here, if it's, you can say here, oh my God, this is so difficult because I've got these issues here and these issues there. Bring them out.
Yes. I'll give you another example so you can see it more clearly. And this
Love
is
it.
also a very general example because what Jay's the question Jay asked here is so broad, it's so applicable to most people. So imagine that you want to have a relationship, right? So if you don't have one, obviously your energy is not allowing you to have one. Simple as that.
Yep.
So you might think you want one, but then you inside you, your subconscious doesn't want one. So what we have to do is we have to connect the conscious wish with a subconscious wish.
Okay.
So the more you have this dialogue within you of why you want it, why you don't want it, the more you can obtain clarity and make space for what you really want. So on the one hand, it's maybe the social constructs that say how, for example, relationships should be, or how a job should be, or how you should work in the world. Maybe they're not something that you agree with. You need a different formula. And you have to create that formula. And if you do this conversation within you, then you can say, okay, but this I like, and that I don't like, and this I agree, and that I don't agree, and this is what really feels good for me, and this is what I want. So it's all the energy is spent in creating that reality from within you. And then you do outside gestures that back that. For example, if you want to, like, I remember once I had a friend who says, I want to have a boyfriend. And she had a small bedroom, and the bed was like moved over towards the wall. So basically, there was no room for anybody to get on the other side.
Okay.
So wasn't allowing that reality to come into her life. And the external reality in her life was showing her that, but she wasn't seeing it. So it's asking yourself these questions, like, if I don't know, if I want a new job, then why have I just applied to renew my contract here, for example? I don't know.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
your external reality. Is that really going along with what you want? And is what you want really? Or is your subconscious and your conscious mind wanting the same thing? So having this internal dialogue and then creating external reality to accompany that through small changes. So if you want a partner, then redecorate your bedroom. And like if you're a woman, don't put everything pink. For example.
Yes. Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like decorated so there's space for somebody else to come into your room.
That's a lovely way of putting it. I think it's a big physical thing to go and do, is to make that room, make that space available for them. Although it's something you want to go and do for yourself, but it's creating that space. Yes.
Yeah, and do that before you go on Tinder.
Yes. And before you go on Tinder, and also don't put a cot in the room either. They will run away.
Yeah.
That is quite funny. I must admit, it's quite funny there. Okay, right. Now, sorry, it just got me chuckling there. That was quite funny. Redecorated the bedroom and put all baby stuff in it as well. I think, hang on a minute. We just started this relationship. That was happening. Right. Okay. Debs Harris. Very good. Very, very good morning to you, Debs. And hope you're well out there. And thank you for your question there coming in. It's the Spacious Tarot. So you need loads of space to use this.
No, that's the name of the card.
I know.
I'll put the Instagram link so you guys can see.
Okay. Spanish humor and English humor, or American humor, whatever it is. It goes AWOL sometimes. Anyway, right. Okay, right. Deb, she says here, it says, anything for me? But I say, well, one of the first things I'd like to say to you here is, I think it's hilarious, is she actually says here, she says that she wants anything for me. Well, first thing I want to say to you here is I really zoned in on you this morning, just looking at your energies there, looking at not just your question, but what I felt about you here. And it's interesting because would you understand, Debs? You're mirroring up to what people expect of you, mirroring up to how people see you. And would you understand here that sometimes you've been responding in the past to how people maybe wanted to see you? And now what I'm actually looking at this and saying to you here is would you understand you're changing this? You're now being you. However, this is creating a not discomfort, but an awakening for you. It's like, well, what do I do with this? But it's bringing out something amazing for you because you're a 7 in numerology. and your heart number is a 5. This is what you would desire to be, is free. Your personality number is 2, where you're relating to people. That's a very nice energy. But your heart number is the 5. And the 5 is very much about wanting to be you, to be free. In some respects, to be, if I could say, it's being out there, being sort of rebellious, living your own energy, being free in yourself. And that really is the heart number of you, which is needing to cut away the old ties, the old patriarchal duties. The spirituality in you is growing. Follow that. And what I would say here is you're probably doing something already, but I really would do something about this, because your time's now to go and do this. And your personal year is 2, so finding balance within yourself. So I think here, Debs, if you're doing this, get on with this, because I think you could do great things, great things. But I think do move on this, and I think you'd be going great. And I also want to say to you here, there's going to be the sound of, I know I was talking about cots earlier on, where we were joking a little bit about bedrooms. But I also want to pick up here, I think there's going to be very good news around you very soon about hearing news about babies somewhere. I just hear good news around you, thinking, oh, this is nice. And it's just going to be a bit of lift in the energy, like you're happy for people. It just changes the energy a little bit. So I think, Debs, how's that for you? Yes. I'll pass you down the road here. Let's go down to Guiomar and far away. What would you like to say? She just says here, anything, general. It just says anything for me. So is there anything?
So Debs has a Lilith in Capricorn, as does Susie, and Jay had Lilith Saturn. So Lilith related to Saturn Capricorn, or the 10th house, has to do with believing patriarchy, with thinking things were, like you have to prove yourself in life, you have to obey society and all these things, and you have to deny your emotions. But this Lilith has to learn to go beyond that, to actually open the consciousness up through anything symbolic like astrology or numerology or whatever. It helps. So it's opening up to see how the matrix really works, how life really works, but from a more conscious perspective. Okay, so in other words, to put it more simple, it's this leap of faith I was talking before. It's to a more heart-based way of working and seeing things very simply, and not worrying about what society cares, don't belong. So for this, I have a little exercise that you can do, and this is good for everybody too, to do this leap of faith. It's difficult because like our old patterns will come up, so the shit comes out, and you might just fall into them again. Because they're very sticky. They're very it's very difficult to let go of the old pattern. But these are the trials of ego. And if we have clarity of vision, then we can let them go easier, because we don't get scared. We don't think, oh my God, what if I might get punished? No, you're not going to get punished. Just be. So the exercise is the following. Imagine a superhero. Imagine a movie star. Imagine somebody you wanted to be, or that you admired when you were a kid on TV, right? Somebody with superpowers. I don't know, it could be like Aquaman, which was my case. It could be, I was doing an exercise with somebody, she said Farrah Fawcett from Charlie's Angels. It could be anybody that you think, even a cartoon personality, it doesn't matter. Anybody you can
Thunderbirds for me. It was Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds, okay. Yeah. So one of them.
Yeah.
Choose one, okay? So you get this person, and then you have to do a move. You have to change something in life, like, change, go to somewhere else, change job, do whatever. So your fears are going to come up, right? Yeah. But then ask this personality, so you can carry the image of this personality, like on your mobile phone, like on the screensaver. You can put that there, so that personality, that archetype, is always there for you. And then when you do something and you're not sure, or fear comes up, then just look at that and say, well, what would you do? So what would Farrah Fawcett do? What would Charlie's Angels do? What would what did you say? The Avengers? No.
The Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds. What would the Thunderbirds do? What
Or
would Aquaman do? What would
as
Superman do?
as Deborah the producer says, Wonder Woman. What would Wonder Woman do? There you go. There you go, Debs. Wonder Woman.
Exactly. So when you have to take these decisions in your life, this is a bit like the therapy you were. It's a bit of like neurolinguistic programming. Really, it's based on that. So it's putting yourself in the personality of an archetype, which is a part of you, which is why you like it. But it's a part of you that is much more aligned and much more resolution orientated.
Okay. Brilliant. Brilliant. We're going to quickly, thank you very much, Debs. Hope you enjoyed that. We're going to quickly nip down the road. We're going to have a very nice chat with a lady called Susie Cox. And she wrote in, she's, now your energies are interesting because you're a 2911 in numerology. So straight away, I would like to say here, you're a master at something. And also, I think
it's 11:55. 11:55 right now, the time.
Oh, wow, look at that. That's interesting. Yeah. And we got that 11 there. Yes. Now, it was interesting. And now what I'd like to say here, Susie, as I look at your energies here and I look at this thing, would you understand here that you really are starting to look at very closely at home? I see house. I see energies about house. And would you understand here that you're thinking about what you're going to be doing? Now, what's interesting here is I pick up here too. You're going to start coming out and start working from here, which is great. Working about what you want. You're a personal year 6. So sometimes this has been about you always shouldering responsibilities on your shoulders, looking out for everybody else and doing and keeping life in a balance system in some respects, and also working at the look at money. Now, it's interesting here, over the next few months in front of you, what I really pick up here, Susie, for you, you're going to be looking at home, all right, is what you want to do with it, whether you want to do it up or move, because this is going to be a question here. There's 2 people here coming in for the spirit world around you. A lovely, lovely lady here I'm talking to, her name began with M, like Mary. And she's looking and she's saying here, she says that she understands for you that you've been through quite a turbulent year. All right, we've all been through a turbulent year, but she's looking at you personally. She's also looking at the emotional life around you. Would you understand this has been very changeable too? However, what I'm saying here is when you start working from your heart and start looking after you, watch what happens. Watch what happens. Suddenly your life is going to start working on a completely different vibration than it's done before. I pick up here, she's telling me here, she had big glasses, this lady, very big glasses. And she was a heavy smoker, she tells me, as I'm talking to this lovely lady. And she's also showing me here too, she says here, she's pointing a finger. So you're going off somewhere. You are changing your direction as in moving. There's a move coming in front of you. And the other energy she wants given as well here, she just says here, she sees love later on in front of you, or love will be a bigger thing. I'll pass you straight down the road to Guiomar. So we've got about 3 minutes left. So yes, there you go.
Hello, Susie. So Susie has a North Node in Gemini, which has to learn, North Node in Gemini has to learn to communicate. I have that North Node. Yeah, we have to learn to communicate, to listen, to not be right all the time. Right. So what happens with the Gemini archetype, it can be very, very much influenced with patriarchal values. And by doing so, then you're not allowing the energy to flow between you and others. And this doesn't allow synchronicity to occur. Okay. So it's important to go down a couple notches to calm down that nervous system. Because yes, there is this urge of freedom that is very strong in the chart, but sometimes if we just play too much on the urge, we don't allow the space to find the freedom. Okay. And that's the soul cage, basically. Yes. So freedom is found in a quieter space, and in that quieter space, then you can start reflecting on, the way you see life as black and white, good and bad. And to start reframing that in the sense that there is no bad, there's just different, and different can be fun or less fun. So if we start that way, then we don't close the doors. We don't close the doors to the people who might come in and be players in the synchronicities in our lives. So keep this in mind.
I think that's very, very interesting what you're saying there. And the interesting thing here is you've got fun coming into your life. It is also going to be about generation of money, business, and also freedom around you, but fun energy here. You're trying to keep the balance with everybody, trying to keep the balance here and trying to keep everything in tow. But there's an underlying current of change in your life, and it's a big thing. What you got to look at here is, yes, it may not be appropriate to everybody else what you're thinking of doing, where you're going in life. However, it's something here I think that you're going to be happy working with. And I think there's been a lot of change in family around you over the past year or so, which is bringing through this change of energy. But loads of love to you. Loads of love to you there, Susie. And good luck with your day. Okay, the producer says we are back on Friday with Taryn Sandbrook or Truly Intuitive, 8 p.m. EU, 7 p.m. UK. See you then. And it's going to be because it's on a Friday evening, you guys in America be able to see this around about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And thank you for joining us this morning, she says. Thank you for joining us this morning and have a lovely day. Guiomar, thank you. What a lovely, lovely, lovely morning. A very chatty morning, as always. Love the chats. I love the psychotherapy. Love the astrology. And I love the chat. We always do. And I know everyone out there does. And Deborah keenly listens. He listens to the chat. She absolutely thoroughly enjoys it. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Thank you very much, Deborah, for producing the show. And thank you, Guiomar, once again, being an exceptional special guest on a Wednesday show. Love it. Always do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay. Bye. Bye-bye. Take care.